Hi guys, this is Jason coming to you from my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. Really exciting video today, guys. We're going to be taking the Elco to the dyno. We're going to load it up on the trailer. We're going to drive down to Claypool, Indiana to FSI Racing, and oh nubs, go type on the keyboard for me and hit that up arrow about 18 times, and we're gonna wake this thing up. I'm probably not going to stand around and talk to you guys a bunch while I'm there. I'm probably going to be mainly focused on learning myself, like maybe I can get a little bit of knowledge out of them, and also just watching what the car is doing. So I will film as much as I can, and I will drop commentary after the fact in, so it'll be maybe just a little disjointed, probably some conversations with you and me in the car talking about what's going on, and then a clip of what's going on. I'm really nervous. I don't know if you can tell this. I don't know what to do with my hands. It's terrifying. I've never done this before, and it's terrifying. So let's get the car on the trailer and let's get down to FSI. Okay guys, the car's loaded up, and now I'm just waiting for my brother. He's gonna go with me, I think. I'm not real sure, but I think he's gonna go with me. So I thought I would just explain why we're gonna put the car on the dyno anyways, like what issues are we having that we're trying to resolve. You can go back to the Cletus and Cars video. As it's like rolling into the pit, it's kind of stumbling and bumbling, and it doesn't really light real quick and just go. And we've chased that for a good chunk of the summer, and even at Michiano Automania, the burnout that I did, right as it was go, right as I got on it, it kind of bumbled and stumbled for just a little bit before it really lit the tires and did a great burnout. So that's kind of what we're chasing. In carburetor speak, that would be like your accelerator pump, and in EFI speak, that's what they call tip-in. So when you mat the throttle, the fuel's got to get there. You gotta dump a little extra fuel to get it to go where it is. I'm also chasing a starting temperature issue. I've been having a hard time getting the car to warm up to 170s. So I've noticed that a lot of times I have that problem. It's more so when the car's down in the 160s in temperature. So I had a 160 thermostat in it, and I just bumped that up to a 180 thermostat. I'm trying to bring the car into the pit with the lowest temperature as possible, so that when I get out of the pit, I'm not at the hottest temperature as possible. So at Michiana Automania, I did 2-minute burnouts. I did 4 of them. It was 90 degrees outside. It was absolutely sweltering. We were on a huge asphalt island. It was just nothing but radiant heat everywhere. And I would go into the pit at about 170. I would come out at about 215 to 220. That's not perfect, but it's okay. It's not worrisome. So I felt like there was room to take that thermostat up just a little bit, so I took the thermostat up just a little bit. So that's another thing that we're doing to try to combat that. But I'll insert some videos, and I'll I'll show you that stumble that the car has right as you like mash the gas and like try to get the tires to break loose and go. So I'll put one in from Cletus and Cars. And then I'll put one in from the beginning of the Michiana Automania burnout as well. So those videos will be next, and it'll kind of help explain what we're trying to chase by putting a tune on. Hey guys, Future Jason here from inside the Elco. I just thought a time lapse of driving from Napanee to Claypool. It's kind of fun. It's a good time of year. You get to see all the corn, the hustle and bustle of some of these little small towns. So thanks for watching that. Well guys, we made it to FSI. I'm gonna get this car unloaded and get it on the trailer. I was going to have a conversation with my brother on the way here about how much horsepower we hope to make. Put down in the comments below what you think, what you hope. Anything over 500, I'd be just absolutely tickled pink, but I think we're going to be right around that mark, that 475 to 500. So put yours down below, and let's go. Hey guys, this is Future Jason coming to you here from the inside of the Elco. So that was the first run of the car on the dyno, and it was kind of just from the tune that was in the car, just to see what that would do. And as you can tell, it stumbled just like it had been in real life. And if you look at that dyno graph, you can just see how far down and how much chatter is in there with that thing just, you know, just not fueling right, just not acting right. And after this run, we probably spent an hour and a half changing spark plugs, changing spark plug wires, trying to figure out that, that dead hole, cylinder 4. And it took about an hour and a half of chasing it, and we basically chased it back to the connector on the coil. It looked like one of the pins had slid back in the connector a little bit on the from the ECU to the coil, and it was just basically not telling it to fire at all. So that's kind of what we found. We got that cylinder to turn on, and the car instantly started acting differently. You could see how low it was on power on that pole in the dyno sheet. If you pause it, you can see how much power it made. That's not a lot of power, guys. That is nowhere close to where we should be. And it was just really down on power. It still kind of did the stumbly thing at the beginning. So we fixed the misfire, and now you're gonna see the next dyno pull, and that's gonna be you know, after the misfire, or after the cylinder essentially gets turned back on. Hi guys, future Jason again, coming to you here with some commentary. This is after we got the cylinder turned on, so now he's kind of just going through the throttle, just kind of whacking on it and watching the car pick up and seeing how it's doing. And he's sitting in there and he's kind of watching it live and kind of making adjustments live on it. And he's trying to kind of set the fuel table, and at the same time he's trying to set that tip in as well. And this is kind of what most dynoing is. People think that dynoing is like just a bunch of poles. It's not. It's a bunch of this, where you're kind of just like throttling the car and, you know, trying to get that tip in going. So that's very indicative of what the few hours that I spent there at FSI looked like. It was nubs in the car on the dyno, the rear wheel spinning, and him just kind of like standing in it for, you know, 3, 4, 5 seconds and then getting out of it, not really making a lot of pulls. He got done with this little sesh. He went and tapped on the keyboards, like filled out the rest of the table the best he could, and then came back for a full pull. Hey guys, future Jason here again, still in the Elco, still hanging out with you. Hey, this is after, kind of after he's worked through some new fuel tables and some new tip-in table, and starting to make, you know, kind of starting to get a little closer to getting to make a serious pull. So that was it was a pretty good pull. I mean, it wasn't great, but it's definitely way better than where we started. But unfortunately, there's still kind of a fueling issue that's going on, and that's going to have to be addressed. So yeah, this is what going to the dyno looks like. All your hopes and dreams crushed. But you know, if you want to get better, there's only one way to get better, and that's to find out. You just gotta get to the point where you find out, so that you can fix it, so you can move forward. So back to the video. Well guys, we made it home. That was eventful. Let's get this thing in the garage. Well, guys, we made it back from FSI and Nubs, working with Nubs on the tune. We found some pretty major problems with the car. It was down a cylinder. It's been down a cylinder its entire life. Number 4 has not been firing. Who knew? Not me. Well, number 4 not firing is also on the side that our O2 sensor is. So it's been telling the car that it's lean. So it's just been dumping extra fuel into the whole system the entire time. So that one problem kind of cascaded into another one. So once we had that sorted, we then were kind of looking at the fueling, and the car started running a lot stronger, started making some really cool noises, but the system as a whole kind of had some noise in it. And I was thinking it was like an electrical, like, hey, is that like an electrical issue? And Nubs and Mason both were pretty certain that it's a fueling issue, that the fuel distribution's not necessarily the greatest. And I have that throttle body that has the fuel injection in it, and they were kind of leaning towards, hey, that's not helping you out. So that's why you go do these things, so you figure out things that you don't know. I thought the closest car was really close and was going to just, break all dyno records, throughout the United States, and I was, sadly wrong. The car's nowhere close. It was missing on a cylinder. I didn't even know. Nubs didn't realize it either. Mason was the one that pointed it out. And the only way we found it was with hitting the exhaust pipes with a temp gun. So that's a tool I need to get. I need to get a temp gun, and just continue to learn. I mean, I was going there to learn, and that's what I did. I learned a lot of stuff about the car. I learned to check some things, and I learned that, like, what's better. And to tell you the truth, I'm not going to tell you horsepower numbers, because we really didn't make a serious horsepower poll. But I can tell you, from the time that we got there to the time that we put it on the trailer, we doubled the horsepower that the car was making. That's kind of a scary thought. It's pretty good horsepower. I need to do some research on fueling, and either stick with the throttle body that I have or change out to a multi-port injection. So that's where I'm at. That's what's going to go from here, and we'll get it back on the dyno real short like. So Dyno Sesh, not a huge win, but it is a win in sense of we've found out some things about the car, and we have a path forward to correct those things and make it better in the end. So kind of get to it. Take the good advice that you get from people that are smarter than me. 95% of the world smarter than me, and go on from there. So I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys found this interesting. I hope maybe you learned something. I hope maybe it inspired you to get out there and do it yourselves. Like, guys, you don't have to know what you're doing. You just got to go do it, and that's how you figure it out. So, just get out there and do it. And thank you for the motivation of getting me out here and doing it. And yeah, with that, until next time, we're going to be on to some bigger and some better things with the Elco, and we'll revisit this whole Dyno Sesh at some point in the near future. So yeah, thanks for coming along, and watch some of our other videos, subscribe, go to the website, buy some merch, leave a comment. But yeah, thanks. Till next time, guys.